Yeah.
All right. Welcome everyone. This is Kwik Kar Southlake's first ever live stream. Our goal is to answer, as many questions as possible, any questions that you have. We anticipate probably 20 minutes or so we'll be on here. Obviously I have cars to work on as well. I'll be here to answer any questions. If you do put a question in, we will answer the question and two people will be able to win a free oil change. We'll put it into a drawing. I start off by saying my name is Nicholas Garcia. I'm a master mechanic. I have been for 22 years. Got a lot of experience under my belt. I was trained by a very good master mechanic of 30 years. I spent my first 7 years with him. I like to work on anything and everything. A car is a car. You bring it to me, I'm going to work on it. So that's a little bit about me. We're trying to put ourselves back out there after we reopened from the fire in February of 2025 because we had a fire in 2024. Closed for 7 months. That was a nice reprieve, I want to say, but we needed to get back. So, we're here and just trying to get ourselves back out there. So we're here to answer any questions that anybody has. Hopefully, we can get something going here. I do have one question from a customer of ours named Gordon Chin. He says, I have 8 vehicles, all from different manufacturers, American, Japanese, British, German, Italian, etc. When flushing my coolant system, is it safe to use coolant that is labeled universal or all vehicles? It's very confusing with all different kinds of coolant out there. Also, will it cause problems to my cooling system if the different types are mixed together when just topping off my coolant? Well, the universal aftermarket is definitely made to meet all manufacturer specifications, so that way you obviously don't have to buy the exact coolant. Definitely topping it off is not going to cause an issue if you mix them. They're meant to mix with those coolants, hence the color of yellow, because it will turn into any color that you put it in. So that's also why it's yellow. So that's not a bad thing. But yes, if you are going to do a coolant flush, it's not bad to mix them per se, but you definitely want to try to flush it all out with the new coolant because that's the point of the flush. But no, you're not damaging anything per se. Unless you get into hybrid vehicles, then you have to have the correct coolant or you will damage the system. Yeah, so that's one question. Hopefully somebody pops up on here. We'll be kind of hanging out for a minute. Ed, Ed, it's frozen, I think.
Sounds good. See. See.
All right, sorry guys, we've had a little technical difficulties. So like I said, I just gave my introduction. So I mean, if there's any questions out there, we can answer those now. So I guess.
I'm used to.
Yeah, this is Nick up here at the Nick Garcia at the Kwik Kar Southlake. This is our first ever live stream. We're just trying to get ourselves back out there. We've currently reopened, as of last year. We had a fire in 2024. So, we just wanted to get ourselves back out there, introduce ourselves, answer any questions that any customers may have, or any questions out there about your vehicle, why you should get your car here and get it serviced, or if we're equivalent to the dealer, all those kinds of things, which we are. We did have a fire in 2024. So like I said, we're reopened now, trying to get ourselves back out there. My name's Nick Garcia. Like I said, I'm the master mechanic. Got 22 years experience. I was trained by a mechanic for 7 years. He was 30-year experienced mechanic. I've been ASE master certified, other certifications as well. Any car you can bring to me. I'll work on it. It's a car. I will get it fixed. This is what I do. We're here to answer questions. Like I said, we do have one question from a good customer of ours. He says, I have 8 vehicles, all from different manufacturers, American, Japanese, British, German, etc. When flushing my coolant system, is it safe to use coolant with all different kinds of coolant out there? Also, will it cause a problem to fill my coolant with universal coolant if I'm just topping off my system? And that's a very good question, and no, that will not, damage anything. It is, universal coolant, so it is meant to meet or exceed, manufacturer specifications. So, topping it off definitely won't hurt the system. Now, if you're doing a flush, you do want to use enough amount to flush the old coolant out. Not that if you mix a little bit, that it'll cause an issue, but it's just, the right thing to do. That's how you do a correct coolant flush. It is yellow. It's meant to mix with every color. That's why they chose yellow, because it does mix, with everything. Now, once you get into hybrid cars, then yes, you cannot just put regular coolant in there. It is a special coolant designed to, basically cool that electronic, system. It is different. So yes, so that in that case, you would have to use the correct coolant. So if you have any questions, you can bring them to me, and if I answer your question today, 2 of y'all will be thrown into a hat and we can get y'all a free oil change on a drawing. So I'm open and here to all questions, and hopefully we get something soon. Nice to meet y'all, and I'm here and ready.
Why should just to mention, one thing that comes up is people wonder, why they would put in the car versus.
Well, it looks like we don't have anybody yet, so I mean, I guess I can say a couple things, and hopefully, it'll give somebody information if they're listening or they decide to, join later. On the basis of, bringing your car here, why you wouldn't bring it to the dealer or, any other, shop out there. Yes, there are plenty of very good shops out there. We're not in the business of bashing any other shop. That's not what we do. There's plenty of good mechanics out there just like me, and plenty of other shops you can take your car to. Bringing it here, I feel like you will definitely get a better experience. And also, we are very qualified to fix the vehicle. We are a dealership alternative, reprogramming and all that, etc. So, you don't have to take your vehicle to the dealership, and, you know, I believe the experience that you'll have here versus some of these other places might be just a little bit better. We have a great team here. We have a great owner, which our ownership has not changed since the fire for 8 years. Our same owner. Of course, we have been through, a couple managers. People do that does happen, but we did not change over hands. Did not change a whole bunch of employees. We are still here, still fighting, just trying to survive, and hopefully we can get y'all's cars fixed to the best of our ability. Like I said, I mean, don't hesitate to bring it here. I know it says Kwik Kar on the outside, but that is not all we do is oil changes. Dealerships are very good at what they do. They're a dealership, but we are just as capable. So hopefully y'all can come down and see us, and hopefully we'll have somebody pop on with some questions. I'm ready to answer. And I guess on that note as well, I do want to specify that if you do have a vehicle that is in warranty as well, we can take care of that for you. We do also deal with outside warranty companies, so you can bring your vehicle in for that as well. We are certified to do all that. We are Repair Pal certified as well. So you can always bring your vehicles in or make appointments with us through Repair Pal. You can also visit our website at southlakequick.com. There's also specials on there as well. We have a question here. It says, what is the most complicated job that you have ever done? Well, to be honest with you, there's been a lot of complicated jobs. I do a lot of complicated jobs, on vehicles, but if I'd have to pick one, I would have to say that probably the most complicated job that I've ever done is on a 1993 Mercedes SEL. I had one time. They didn't release wiring diagrams at the time. This was 15 years ago. And it took me almost 3 weeks to diagnose this vehicle. Uh, Basically, I had a check engine light on and a power issue intermittently. And, basically it turns out that the power to the ECM was supplied through the convertible top module. And there was a corroded wire, just one corroded wire, which keep in mind, I had the entire car part to figure this out. So yeah, I mean, almost 200 hours worth of labor into this car for one wire. And it was a very super complicated job because there was no wiring diagrams available for the vehicle. So it took me a long time to figure it out. So to answer that question, I have to say that was probably the most complicated job that I've ever done. Uh, but there are still some other complicated ones out there. But like I said, I don't shy away from a challenge, and there's nothing that I can't do. So, well, as I said earlier, to this question that we just asked, it says why should you go to us versus another independent shop? As I said before, we were just as qualified. We're not going to bash any shops out there, but I believe that if you come here, that you definitely won't be sorry, and that your experience is just going to be much better. At this location. So you going to another shop, I think this one might be the one for you. All right. So we do offer warranty on all of our jobs. We have a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty on parts and labor unless the part otherwise specifies. And then our labor warranty, like I said, is 12 months, 12,000 miles. So we do honor our work. Obviously, a workmanship warranty is indefinite, so we mess up something on the vehicle, even if comes up 5 years later, we are going to take care of that for you, which we can promise you that won't happen. So we do offer warranty just like every other independent shop out there and the dealership. So, you know, you don't have to take your car to another shop. You can bring it to this one and we can definitely get you serviced. And on that note as well, as far as we are very competitive in our pricing. We don't like to say we have the cheapest labor rate in town, but I mean, I'm sure we probably do. That's just we like to be comparable, and that doesn't say anything about our work. So you can bring it to us and save some money and also get your car fixed to the best quality, if not better than some of these other shops in the area. So, do we have any other questions out there for anything? So we might have a couple come through. Okay, here's a good one. What about foreign cars? This is one that was brought up on our website. Do we work on foreign cars as well? Like I said, we do specialize in those as well. BMW, Mercedes, Audi, anything that, you can think of that is German engineering, we do work on as well. We do carry the oil filters for these vehicles. We do have the ability to reset the lights. So, we are definitely a dealership alternative for those foreign cars as well. We do work on some high-end cars. Now, obviously, parts are expensive for those, so we try to, do the best we can within reason. But we don't shy away from any job. So whatever it is, don't be hesitant to bring it. So that was a good question for him as well. The only thing we don't do here is body work. And the only reason we don't do that is because we don't have the tools or the setup for it, and obviously a paint booth. So, other than that, other than the body work, there is not something that I won't do. That's a very good question. I will do anything. Fortunately, with my experience, like I said, a car is a car. I can basically look at any car and take it apart and put it back together correctly. That's what I do. All right, well, fortunately, I do have to get back to work. I'm in the middle of a camshaft job, as you can see. It was very good, meeting you all on our first live stream. We'll be doing another one, soon. Hopefully, people will start to join us. And, like I said, we're just getting our name out there. Come on down to Kwik Kar Southlake. It'll be probably the best experience you ever had. Thank y'all.